Let's see, what should I make for supper today? Oh, hello. Welcome to Cooking with Trish. If you want to see what I'm making today, then just keep watching. So for this recipe, you will need 2 pounds of boneless lean beef stew, 5 Chile guajillos, 2 Chile anchos, a teaspoon of Mexican oregano, 2 garlic cloves, half of an onion, 1 tomato, salt and pepper to taste, and I like to use beef broth to boil the chiles. So now let's get started. To your pan, you want to add about 2 tablespoons of oil. I just go a couple times around the pan. Let that get hot so we can start cooking the meat. Now that the oil is hot, we can go ahead and add our beef. Let's go ahead and add our salt. This is about a teaspoon. And our black pepper. About a teaspoon. Mix that all around. So while this is browning, we can start on our chiles. We can start getting those boiled. So for the chiles, you want to make sure that you take the stem off. And you want to remove the seeds that are inside. Put them in a bowl. Go ahead and get all these started, and then we can start to boil them. And I'm using the 32 ounce, but you only need maybe, like I said, just enough to cover. And to your pan of chilies, you also want to add your tomato. Let that come to a boil. I'm going to go ahead and cover it and let those get nice and soft. So once your meat is brown, I'm going to add half a cup of water. Give that a stir. I'm going to turn the heat down to a low. And I'm going to cover that and let that cook for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, let's work on the chilies. And the tomato. We're going to go ahead and add all that beef broth. You're going to add in your garlic cloves, your 2 garlic cloves, your onion slice, and your Mexican oregano. It's a lot thicker than regular oregano and more flavorful. That's why it's better to use this one. Salt to taste. Let's give it a blend. Once you're done blending it, you want to strain it. Just like this. And this is why you want to strain it. You don't want this in your sauce. Now is where you want to taste it and make sure it has just the right amount of seasonings. Perfect. So our meat's been simmering for about 10 minutes. We can go ahead and add our sauce. Let's bring it back up to high. Let this come to a boil. So once it comes to a boil like this, you want to go ahead, turn it back to low, give it a quick stir, cover, and let this simmer on low. Now for the rice, you want to use 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of chicken broth, 2 squash or calabacita, 1 carrot, half a cup of crushed tomato. Now, I didn't have any tomatoes on hand, but if you had any tomatoes, you could use 1 large one or like 2 small Roma tomatoes, half of an onion, 1 garlic clove, half a teaspoon of cumin seed. If you don't have cumin seed, you can use ground cumin. And 3 teaspoons of chicken flavored bouillon. Before we start browning the rice, we want to go ahead and add our half a cup of crushed tomato to the blender, our onion, our 1 clove of garlic, and our chicken bouillon, and half a teaspoon of whole cumin. Add about half a cup of water. So now to our pan, we want to add the oil. About 2 tablespoons of oil. Get this mixed around. Go ahead and add your rice. You want to keep this stirring. Keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. You want it to come to like a golden brown. Once your rice starts to get like this color, nice golden brown to it, we can go ahead and add our vegetables. So once your vegetables have been sauteing for about 5 minutes and your rice has a nice golden color to it, we can go ahead and add the tomato mixture. Now you want to add your chicken broth, and when you add your chicken broth, you want to heat this up so that it doesn't cool the temperature of the rice down. And now you want to taste the seasoning. Make sure it has enough salt, everything. So once it comes to a boil like this, you want to go ahead and turn the temperature to low, cover it, and cook it for 20 minutes. Do not lift the lid, just set it and forget it. Go ahead and turn it off. Let's give it a stir. Look at that. If only you could smell this. But you can smell it, but you have to make it.
Oh la la. Yes.
Now let's go ahead and plate this up. And now for the taste test. The meat is tender. The rice, the vegetables are nice and soft and tender. Doesn't need a thing. It's perfect. You can use this in tacos. You can eat this however. To you young married girls, make this for your suegra. I guarantee you, she'll never say another bad thing about you again. I hope you liked this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.